Morning you lot, we're back on the Virago. We need to have a look at the starter clutch because it's sticking on, and while that's sticking on it's almost impossible to get the thing started and it won't disengage, so we need to have a look at it. So let's get to it. First thing you've got to do is take all the front crash bar bit off this side and the gear selector. Right, where's the other one? You see how shit that is? That fucking bolt's attached. Why is that loose? It needs to be tightened up before I do anything else, doesn't it? Well, this bike ain't got a centre stand, and to get that left hand crash bar off so you can get to everything, right, that's actually the bolt that holds that on also holds on the side stand, so need to check that as well now. We'll find something to prop the bike up, because I can't use my actual my bike jack because I've got the my other bike on it, so I need to think of something here. I'll be back. Right, see this bolt here? Right, that was loose. Right, and need to I thought I'd tighten, because I wanted to take this off, which also holds the side stand on. Right, so I started undoing that, and then the bike started leaning this way, and I noticed this bolt was loose. I started tightening that bolt up, and I thought there was a bit of a thread there. So what I've done, and look around the other side. Oops. And in there, right in there is the other end of that. I think you can see it better now. The other end of that bolt, and this nut here was just, well, that nut was unscrewed. That of course the thread had gone through a bit further that way, but this nut was like held on by about 2 threads, and that was it. Yeah, so what I've done is I tightened this up and loosened the other side off, and kept tightening this up until the actual thread come right through to the other side of the nut. So at least now we've got a bit of guts holding it on. And that was pretty close, do you know what I mean? Because that was pretty loose. Wasn't that tight? So it's quite handy having a look at the bits and pieces while we're doing this bike. Bolt missing there by the look of it. You can see little bits and pieces that need doing, but that's not a problem. So now, with the help of the car jack, because I don't want the bike falling on me when I take this bolt out. So that'll just hold it up a little bit there. Right, be back in a second. Put this back on the tripod. Another thing, once I've taken this off, I'm just going to stick a socket or something back on there, tighten that back up so that can hold on there securely while I get this out of the way. do. Right. Right, battery's getting a bit low. Might have to change battery in a sec. See the state of this. Ooh. Oh, fucking hell, black isn't it? Black as the ace of spades. No metal on it though. That's good. All everywhere. Nasty shit. Put the drain plug back in so you don't lose it. Last thing you want to lose is one of them. Probably a bit too dark maybe. The big cog there. That's your starter. That's your starter clutch. When the starter engages, it locks. It won't go the other way. Right, I checked the starter clutch, and the starter clutch seems to be all right. So for the slow turning over of the engine, time to have a look at the starter motor. So I've already taken the live off. That's where your live wire was, your starter motor wire. So take that off, and that all looks a bit sort of like cruddy anyway, so that would want cleaning up. When we take that out, we clean up the earth, you know, where it earths to the bike, to the engine, clean that up as well. And possibly put another earth cable in there to earth the starter motor out. So there's a couple of 10mm bolts. Yeah, just a couple of 10mm bolts, one in there, one up there. Take them out and it should be able to pull the starter motor out. And we'll just give it a general check over and see what that's like. So back once I've got that out. Right, what we're going to do now is check the starter motor and see what condition the brush is in. There's a couple of screws that hold these together, which are 7mm, these screws, of all sizes. You need a 7mm spanner. Now this feels a bit lumpy. Might just be stiff, but it feels a bit lumpy. So I need to check the brushes and have a look, see what's going on in there. If the brushes are naff, I mean they're pretty cheap to get. Easy to change over, or easy-ish. Right. So rubber seal around that, which you get in a new kit if you've got a kit for this. Need two of your brushes in there. It's quite shitty. So you can clean that up, we can clean that up. Push that out of there a bit. Magnet holding it in this. Let's go. Come on. Fuck it out. Get a crud in there, clean that out. A rag. Up. That's the spacer. Yep. Spacer just goes on the end. Just hold it in place really. Mica washers. Don't want to lose them. So there, and there. A little bit of a wipe. Generally pretty good condition. These will be cleaned off though. And as for the I think we're still right with the brushes there. That was worn down quite a bit, I think. Could do with some new brushes. Let's take that rubber seal off. There. See, one brush seems to be worn down a lot more than the other one, but there's still a fair bit of meat left on them really. So I just need to clean the contacts up on the actual starter motor. So yeah, dirty looking. See where the brushes have been running around it. Need to clean all that carbon off of there. I think it's carbon. How do we do that? Oh, you ask. What I use is Solvol or the like. First off, I'll give it my good old favourite carb cleaner. Clean up any debris on there. You can see where it's been running uneven. Don't know if you can see that, the thickness of the line is smaller there. Oop. Don't want to lose that either. Last thing you want to do on these is use sandpaper or something. Completely fuck it up. Bit of fine Scotch pad if you've got any. So yeah, it's slowly coming to, look at that. Slowly getting there. The shit is coming off onto the rag. Definitely make a better connection with all that shit off. This might have been the problem all along, really, with the slow turning over the engine slowly. So I have to get a gasket for the side casing. Put that back together, top it back up with oil, because I'm sure that starter clutch is alright. Spun freely when I moved it, so right, it's black, look at that, black. There anyway. I should have taken some before and after pictures, shouldn't I? Nice and shiny. And back to the old carb spray. So if there's any bits on it, come off. Have a fucking wash it now. That's good. That's good to me. If you've got a toothbrush or something, just run it down these little slots. Make sure there's no shit in there. Don't want that coming off while you're got the thing spinning round. I don't have one. That's good to me. Much better than it was. That's good. That looks lovely. So they're in there. We need to put some grease in that. Try not to get any grease on that. So we just done all that cleaning. So you might ask what I used to clean that with. Couldn't find my solve volt, so that'd do. Anything like that. Not too abrasive though. Don't want it too abrasive. Best thing to use on this, I reckon, is a fine fret rubber that the luthiers use. I've got one at home. If I should have brought it round. It's just like a little, looks like a pencil rubber really, but it's like really fine grit. Very fine grit. And they use them for polishing the frets on guitars, and that would have been ideal just to run around that with it. And my tip for the day. So you put our washers back on. 3 then. This one goes on like that, because that will lock into the slots at the bottom of the what's the name? Ujima flip. And we put the end cap on first because it's easier to. Otherwise, if you put that in first, you're never going to get this on. So I'll just have a quick look at those. Not a lot that you can do to clean these up, really. Almost forgot the shims. Take that bit off for a minute. It's a tricky bit because you've got to push that in there and push it over and then push it in. And in fact, just have a little dab of grease in there. There we go. There you go. So once you've got that end in, right, you're laughing getting the rest of it together. Probably suck it in, or suck it in because the magnet wants to grab hold of it. So let's give it a go. Ready. There we go. Oh, you know what I forgot? Gasket. Grease. Right, so I don't want to take that back off again, so
do try and get the gasket over the top. It is rubber, so it should fit really. No, it's not going to. Let's push it back out all the way. Where'd you come? Oh, there we go. Keep that on. Come off. Actually, it comes off quite easy, so what we do is we'll stick the magnet on first and then we put the end cap on. But this time we won't forget the gasket. Right. So, leave these off for a second. If you twist it around, there's like little slots where it locks in to the bottom. Right, so you've got that end on. Put the washer on. And now we can put this end on. Just try a bit more grease in there. Right. Same as this. This should only go on one way. Should be a slot or something, but there isn't. There's a line. Look. There you can see the two lines there. So if you had them two lines lined up, let's see, and these bolts should go in. Like that. The other one. Get that, all that shit off so we can have a nice air. We use two new bolts for that as well. We do the same with the bit on the engine where it mounts to the engine. And get in there.
probably can't see that because it's too high up. Yeah, it's a bit high up, probably won't be able to see it. Oh, lay down. Really clean. Right, part 2 will be, we'll get the gasket, clean that side casing up, put that back on, and then see how well the starter motor turns the engine over after we get a clean up. And what we can do then is we can have a little mess around with the, what we've got here is the 2-into-1 manifold and carb idea, because the other carbs, the two carbs that come off of it, one of them's completely knackered, unusable, and the other one is barely usable. So what we're going to do is try and get that 2-into-1 working. And if that carb's a bit too big, we can always go down a size with that one. Something else, maybe an ammo off of the British bike. Try that, give that a go. But other than that, if anybody out there has a set of carbs for a Virago, there's a posh way of saying it, Virago 535, it would be greatly appreciated if you'd like to donate them to me, and then we can have your name up in lights at the end of the credits. Or I have a certain amount of money that I can spend on a set of carbs, but the prices they're asking on eBay are completely ridiculous. So, anyone out there who's got a set of carbs that they can help us out with, definitely be appreciated. On another note, right, I don't know if anyone's noticed my slight lisp when I speak now. It's not old age that's creeping up on me. It's like when we had this lockdown, right? When we had this lockdown, right, I had a loose tooth, and because all the dentists were shut, weren't they? All the fucking dentists were shut everywhere. Couldn't do anything. You know what I mean? Take painkillers. You know what I mean? Fuck, it's about painkillers all the time. So I went to one day, right, I was at home and I thought, fuck this, you know, what I come out with this idea, what I was going to do, right, what I was going to do is, I've got a set of dumbbells at home, they're quite heavy, you know, the metal ones, proper ones. I thought, oh no, I'm going to fucking tie a bit of string around my tooth, and then tie it to the dumbbell, right, and then what I'll do is I'll just sit on the end of the bed and like just drop the dumbbell, and that should rip my fucking tooth out of my head. No problems. Right. So you know, a couple of weeks I've been thinking about it, and I'm thinking about it, and I've got to do it, because it's like fucking really annoying being loose in front of my face. Do you know what I mean? And so this particular day, right, I've gone home, no one around, and I thought, right, let's do it. So I've gone in the got a bit of string, and I've gone into the bathroom, right, and as I'm fucking tying the string around my tooth, right, the string out of one side, you know, because I got the you know, like when you do fucking shoelaces up, you fucking got a string in either hand, don't you? So like I've just done the first bit of the tying up for my tooth, and I'm just tightening it up, and then the string out of my left hand for some reason just come out of my hand, and I yanked my tooth out of my face with my right hand. That saved me fucking tying it all to a dumbbell and everything else. Anyway, I've got a tooth missing and I've got to fucking sort that out. That's why the funny lisp every now and then. Can't say my S's properly. Don't know if anyone's noticed that, but yeah, that's why. Anyway, I'll catch you later. And thanks for watching, and new subscribers and stuff, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, I love you all. Stay safe with this stupid virus thing. Catch you later.